What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noel Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit. Joining me every week is my brother Pedro.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Pedro's Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we're here to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This show we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects. Hello, everybody, hanging out in the live broadcast chat room. If you'd like to join us during the show, you can do so by hitting up the Discord server. The link to that is discord.gg/Adafruit. And we are hanging out in the live broadcast chat room. We'll take a moment to welcome everybody to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. We got some fun things to share, some retro tech, and some inspirational retro stuff.
Good morning, good morning.
New things.
Giving shout outs to everybody hanging out all over the world. We got Rolls. Good afternoon from snowy Norway.
Ooh.
Good morning. We got Jim Hendrickson. We got Du Wester, we got Andy Calloway, Susan, Paul Cutler, Yanni, all hanging out in the Discord, on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitch, where else? Twitter?
Yeah.
I always forget that.
All the social channels, the new ones that aren't there yet. I think we're even on, remember podcast, iTunes?
Oh, yeah.
It's still called iTunes. Yeah, we have a podcast thing there too. Very well. So we're going to
John from New Jersey.
We're still doing shout outs.
All right, let's continue on with the show.
Cool. Let's chat about some stuff and do some housekeeping. So let's kick it off with some freebies. This one. If you go to adafruit.com/free, you can see all the different things that are available right now while supplies last. The more money you spend, the more free things you're going to get. For orders that are $99 or more, you get a free half-size Prima Proto. It's really cool. And then for orders that are $149 or more, you get the half-size Prima Proto plus a Stemma QT breakout board. If you have an account with Adafruit, we'll make sure you don't get the same one twice. Otherwise, it'll be randomly selected. And for orders that are $200 or more, you get the Stemma QT breakout, the half-size Prima Proto PCB, and free ground shipping for continental US only. While supplies last, these get added automatically to your cart, so you don't have to do anything special. They just get added, which is nice. Cool. Okay. We have a newsletter that happens once a week called the new newsletter. That's focused on the new products that are added on the weekly to the Adafruit store. You can go to adafruit.com/newsletter to subscribe to that. And for daily content, you can go to adafruitdaily.com and subscribe to the many categories, such as Python on Microcontrollers newsletter. Shout out to everybody who's been submitting their stories and subscribing. It's a really great place to get some fun projects and inspiration for all things Python on microcontrollers. Check out the jobs board at jobs.adafruit.com and check out all the new listings that are there. And we'll circle back over to the Discord. So if you'd like to join us during the show, you can join the Discord. Another link is adafruit.it/Discord. That's a little secret one there. And that's the housekeeping.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into this week's project.
All right, let's head over to the overhead.
A little bit of a trip down memory lane. A lot of floppy work has been going on over at the desk of Lady Ada. She's working on some cool boards to be able to interface with some of these. The main thing that kicked this off was the Prince floppy disk that needed to be rescued. And PT was the only one that had a hard drive that was able to even read it. And this sparked Lamar's interest in being able to get these to work with modern hardware. So she had a bunch of drives on the desk and wanted to make sure they were all protected. So of course, I had to 3D print some nice protective casings for not only the 5 1/4, but the 3.5-inch drives as well. They were able to get some cool translucent cases on some sellers on the internet. So we wanted to try to maintain that look with having the translucency. And that was really my main challenge in trying to get the available translucent colors to be as translucent as possible without being not being too thin and still being able to protect the cases while they're on the desk. One of the other challenges that Lamar gave me was to have them be stackable. So they are able to stack a 3.5-inch drive on top of the 5 1/4 while still maintaining all of its strength and translucency. So we take a look at how translucent we're able to get these. These are about 1 millimeter thick while still offering all of the rigidity that you would need for the drive. So just a little close up on that. You can see that I even have these the Adafruit embosses. What I was trying to do here was two things: test out the geometric patterns inside of Fusion 360 and have them be a little bit more transparent. You can kind of see there that it actually, the emboss makes that thinness so you can see through a little bit better. Because of the height requirements on the 5 1/4, it's a little bit less translucent to give ample space for the motors to rotate without it interfering with anything else, and a little bit less so on the top here. But these cases just slip in and off, so there's no hardware required to like screw these into anything. And just go right over like that. Oop. And they slide in like that. Super easy. You have the back open on the back is open, so you have access to plugging in all of your power and your I was gonna say SCSI adapter, but whatever interface you're gonna be using to hook these up to hopefully some CircuitPython boards in the works. So super cool way to sort of bring the old retro tech back into the modern age. A lot of people on the video were, asking, "Oh, why are you guys working on such old tech?" And of course, very happy to see some of you commenting on there that a lot of these are still in use in like industrial purposes, like in the government and military stuff like that. They are still using these, and for data recovery, I don't think you're gonna find like old Bitcoin wallets in here, but there's definitely like, I don't know, wills or like photos and things that might be stored on some your parents or grandparents' old data. If you ever go through an estate sale or something like that, you can see or find some old documents on disks that are no longer readable. Hopefully you can pick these up like on eBay for like $20 or whatever. So a nice little way to sort of with archiving web stuff. As time goes on, you definitely want to have some sort of ability to read all that old stuff again. So if we jump into the Learn Guide for this, you can get all of the files, the Fusion 360 files, the step files, since there seems to be some chatter on where to upload files and all that. I'm going to make sure that everything is in one place. Okay. So super simple, just goes over what I just said, the reasons behind it, why you might want to have a nice little protective case for your desktop, save some space, and all that. Cool. And one of the things I wanted to show was like how I created the geometric pattern, but it is a paid add-on to Fusion, and my trial already expired, so we won't be going over that. Let's go ahead and jump into the 3D printing. It's going to be a pretty short one since it's pretty much just the case. And you can see here if you scroll down, there's all the files and links to all that. And the setting that I found made it the most translucent on this was enabling the fill gaps between walls. I'm sure it's like in the Prusa. We're using the Cura slicer here, so that's what it's labeled as. And we're gonna fill the gap between walls to everywhere. And that's just gonna ensure that you have one, there's 3 perimeters, 2 on each side and 1 in the middle. And you need to have that 1 in the middle to sort of bind the other 2 together. I did try just having 2 perimeters, but that falls apart, especially with such a big print. You can't get some warping as the height increases with the print. And then the other thing, one of the other most important settings that I found for getting the most translucent, clearest case was comb mode to off. Otherwise, the nozzle will sort of try to wipe itself on the inside, and as it's doing that, it's creating sort of like a frosted look, like in between the 2 layers. And you do not want that if you're trying to get the most translucent case that you can. Off. So combing has to be turned off, and the fill gaps, set it to everywhere. And that's just because of how thin, quote unquote thin, being a millimeter.
How thin is it in CAD?
It's 1 millimeter.
Okay, and then how thick or thin rather, is your line extrusion width?
It's all like
0.4.
yeah, 0.4.
Yeah.
It's all standard.
Yeah,
Nothing.
0.4. That's
nothing
the
there
default.
changed.
Yeah.
The main things which I have highlighted here in the orange box here.
I don't think folks
Those
are going
two
to play
things.
with their extrusion width too much, but we
You
have
don't need to.
with like the Ultimate makers, we tend to go to
Yeah,
like 3.8 or
don't need
3.5
to.
or 3.3.
Yeah.
Stick with 0.4. It's not labeled there, but you can just
the standard setting should be able to
Right.
work, even like the 0.48.
right. And if you're using a different nozzle that's not a 0.4 nozzle,
Yeah.
you're going to have different settings.
Looking over at the Discord here, Yanni posting it.
We were just
So
watching
we
this
were
commercial.
just literally watching that. I remember watching that. So
We were literally watching it.
I was
before
working
the
at the
show.
App Store at that time.
The
and-
App Store.
Yeah,
The
Apple Store.
And the retail Apple Store back
Yeah.
in the early
We were
2000s.
R52 for anybody who worked on the worked at the Apple Store. You know what store that was. R52.
What, is that the code name?
Yeah, they did the stores by like numbers. That was the one in Wellington.
And down in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Yeah. And I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about?
We're talking about floppies, old man.
I know, we were joking when these came in. I posted the video when these came in. I was like, "Hey, Gavin, look," because he refers to everything
From the 90s.
old as, "Oh, that's so 1990s." And looking at the the way the mechanics on the drive works and everything.
Older than 1990.
Yeah. So, did we finish the 3D printing page? I think that was it, pretty much.
We talked about. We talked about the extrusion width, is what I was saying there, but
heated
you're gonna
bed,
leave it
prints
by default.
completely up, and no support materials. I have drafts on the little the walls, so that should print up. There is a lip on one side.
Let me go back to the overhead.
Jump out here. There's like a 1mm lip right here, just so it doesn't go past the front cover on this. Same thing with the 3.5 inch. There is a lip on here, so it doesn't go all the way through, and all these little the front cover stops it from going all the way through. I think the other thing that we can look at is just translucency of the colors, because I did try printing a bunch of them, and these so blue, orange, and green were the most translucent. I tried yellow, red, and those were not as translucent, which is kind of weird because you'd figure yellow, would be a little bit more translucent as the as like the green, and the green was more translucent. So we're gonna go with the green. Here it is. So yeah, you just have fun printing all the different colors and recreating that Macintosh scene. I should have took pictures of
Just the 3
of
fives
these,
would look good.
but these. One thing I didn't mention in the 3D printing section is, or the settings, is just how long these take to print. It's about, I think it's like 8 hours for the little one, and the big guy is 16 hours. So you're definitely going to have to bring your patience with that. And we can actually test out how translucent they are. So this is Ice Blue from Filamentum. And I think that's like pretty much the only brand one that I could tell you what it is, because all the other ones they don't sell them anymore, especially the orange, which I'm so bummed out about just because of how translucent.
Right.
It turns out looks better on the back. And then so here's the green. You can see how translucent that is.
This doesn't really capture the popping of the color.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
yeah,
our color
looks like
temperature in this webcam is a little not true to
it looks like more
to life.
Pantone.
There you go. It's a little bit better, a little bit more yellow.
Here's the yellow. And then the least translucent of all is this red.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, you can't see the
When the light hits it
lights.
just right.
Yeah,
see it.
I did have to play a lot with how I lit this to not show, because it looks like the layer lines are extreme when you have it at certain light angles.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, you got a lot of ringing.
Yeah. So inside the file, you can obviously delete the Adafruit logo if you want. You won't be able to change it around or update the settings unless you have the paid, or if you're on the trial version of the geometric pattern. Fusion, what the heck? We're already paying.
I don't know. I mean, you can do all this in Inkscape, Illustrator. Just create your own artwork and bring it in. I don't see why you need to waste your time on
No,
a
that's
generator
exactly
thing.
what
It's
the
cool
point.
to play around with settings.
Exactly.
And it makes it fun and experimental, but
Yeah, what I'm gonna have to use now inside of Illustrator, you do have the ability to
It
play
took
with
a
all
lot
the
of the
settings.
ease away. It gave you a ton of ease.
Yeah, it was just a slider.
And you could experiment with different orientations. So this is a circular based pattern, and this one spreads it out and gives it variable sizes. So it's kind of neat. But
yeah, that is again just a
there's no
slider.
other tool that will do that so quick and easy for you. So I could see why you thought it was a really cool idea to play around with it. But
Yeah, again, it was 3 things. It was testing it out,
Right.
and the other thing too was
the idea is
the emboss.
It's to inspire you to create your own kind of like patterns for your cases. They don't have to be just a flat, simple thing. You can really stylize it with some sort of artwork. It's vector-based artwork that you can bring into your CAD.
Yeah, and showing the least translucent of all is the
Purple doesn't look too bad.
yeah the Blinka purple.
Oh gosh.
So we have Blinka purple. It goes really good with the yellow. So good way to do your color matching. But yeah, here is what it looks like with that. And I think these are from Ulti Machine, who has who's been in business for a while. Yeah. So yeah, that's as translucent as you can get with the darkest color. And that's pretty much it. You got your vents to dissipate any heat. Yeah.
We tried to power these, but they wouldn't power. So
Yeah, this guy would not. So it shouldn't have any interference. You can kind of see.
We sent 2 to Lamar, and she
to
said
verify.
that, go ahead, push it live. So I assume they fit and they
so
work fine.
It's about a millimeter of clearance from all sides, so you should be able to operate this without any interference. All right, cool.
Yeah, we'd love to see somebody with an actual working floppy drive try out these cases. Lamar's busy.
Yep.
Maybe tonight she'll try it out.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll ask her in the meeting. Cool. Any comments or anything? Go ahead and drop them down in the Discord. What you got?
The irony is not lost on that. Jim Hendrickson saying that referencing the iMac, or how the iMac was criticized for not having the floppy on there.
How funny.
Remember that?
It was, yeah.
I remember having to get the...
It was the first iMac, the first Mac without a flop. He's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like kind of, how do you have an iPhone without a headphone jack?
Even funnier still was in the video, if you guys have noticed, that I have the 3.5-inch upside down.
Yeah, it's upside down.
Wait, no.
We don't know what's upside down.
We were Mac users, so we saw the floppy disk go in. I didn't know which orientation the
eject is always at the bottom.
Yeah.
Right? Or no?
Well,
So
we didn't have an
like
eject button. It was all software eject.
Oh, you're right.
So we had a hole to,
Our first
to
Mac
push
was
in
a Performa 6300, and that one did have a 3.5 floppy.
But again, there was no I don't remember the button to eject. It was literally just a hole for the
My first
paperclip.
My first electric piano from Yamaha was a PSR 630, and that one had a floppy drive, and you would put MIDI files on the floppy disk. So that's how I learned about floppies back in the 90s.
Oh, that would have been a good idea. Lamar did mention to if it did not come with a front, to design the front cover.
panel?
Yeah, that's what Yanni's saying, that the
that'd
front
be cool.
color cover matching would be good.
How do you remove the front panel?
I don't know.
Are there screws? Is it clip on?
Oh, it looks like a clip, but I don't want to break.
You don't want to break it, huh? Even though it doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, this one I didn't test
In terms
out.
of okay.
Yeah, it's the big guy.
Yeah, well, we're gonna save these for when actual CircuitPython hardware from Lamar comes out. Then we'll be able to actually
you
use
get the
these
mounts
things.
on there.
So, just getting all the pieces ready to do some fun things.
Flippy drive.
Flippy floppies.
Lenore YT is asking if we
These are
plan
also
to sell the floppy drives and discs. I don't think the actual drives or discs.
Yeah,
Just
I've heard Lamar say they're easy to come by on eBay, and you were able to purchase them on eBay, right?
Yeah. They shipped in a day.
They're definitely not. There's no shortage of them.
No.
Right.
It probably would have been faster and
What kind of light
cheaper if
hits
we went
that?
to a Goodwill or a thrift store, a consignment store to see what they have in stock.
Help me.
But this was the
Holy
fastest for
crap,
us.
look how transparent that is, Pedro.
I know, all of these. You can put your hands through it, you can see.
Can I put you don't have another one?
You
Another big one?
can kind of see the translucency on all these. But again, this only works when the object is smushed right up against it. Past a millimeter, it starts getting, not as translucent. And then, funny enough, the ice blue, this other one is not as translucent because of how far away the drive motors are on the 5 1/4.
So how big of a 3D printer do I need? Big one.
Yeah.
Very big.
You should be able to get the 3.5.
I'm so sorry.
The sizes on them. Let's see.
It's a given, but like, come on, how big? 300 by 300 by 300, something like that.
Yeah.
I'd open Cura, but my computer would crash.
Let's see. You need at least 152 by 40. So
152 tall.
152 length, and then tall.
Yeah, how tall?
Need 195.
Hey, that's not bad. I think that might fit on a Prusa i3, i4, i5, whatever it is.
Yeah. All right, cool. And that is this week's project. A bunch of cool translucent cases for the floppy disk drives.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Let's go ahead and jump into this week's prototyping.
Real quick, just don't forget, go to the Learn Guide. You get the files there.
Get the step files.
Yes, so you can modify it in whatever CAD package you'd like to use. STLs is there as well.
And then you have the Fusion files if you want to do any editing. The tolerances. I'd noticed that there was a tolerance difference between the CR3 and the
How bad though?
CP2. Just a little bit, where you can definitely see some sort of where it's too loose on the CR3s.
Maybe start printing like just an inch or 10 millimeters.
That is what I had to do.
Right?
Yes,
and
when
then
I was
see
first.
if that fits through your thing first. Don't print the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Print a little bit of it first.
Very good tip, because that's what I was doing for the longest time, especially with this guy. So it's
printing
like
a little bit of it,
16 hours. So yeah, let it print for like half an hour. You'll get like that much, because you don't want it to be so small to where it like bends into forms while you're trying to put it on, and then you can't gauge, what the actual full size of the case is going to be. So let it print for like maybe half an hour or so, and that'll be like, I don't know, about that much.
If folks are wondering, vase mode, did you use vase mode? The answer is no. This is
because you wouldn't have that center, the layer right in the center that's like gluing the two outer
I think
shells.
The dimensions, the internal dimensions are far more important than the external ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because it's the internal that's going to fit your hardware.
Exactly.
So, things to consider. Cool. Anybody have any other questions?
Yanni would like to have the front covers changed out.
Flippy drive.
Formal Hunt is asking, the infill. I mean, I have it listed as 10%, but it's literally just gonna fill
There's no
1%.
Of
It's like whatever one line is, so it's not zigzagging to create the infill. It's just one solid in the center,
which is kind of like vase mode. But in order for vase mode to work, you kind of have to have a solid thing, not something that has an opening like this.
Let's see. Good afternoon from rainy Scotland. Sonos is asking, we just need a MacBook with a floppy drive.
I'm just like,
shout out to Team LLR in France.
Shout out to you. I'm just looking at the cool speculative highlights.
I know. I need to print
really cool.
Since we're supposed to be talking about prototyping.
Yeah, I was still.
I want to print this out in this, because look at the difference between the pigments on this. This is like the translucent blue, and this is like the ice blue. So you can see that it has a little bit more of a vibrant pigment in there. But what this is supposed to be is PT found some really cool Etsy listings that were showing this glow in the dark powder inside of like a CNC machined little encasing that the artist is saying would be really cool to add to like zipper pulls or like wearables. Like they gave other examples which I cannot recall, like a band, like anything like that would be good for at dark and having visibility if you're like exercising that night. So we have some of that glow in the dark pigment in there, and it looks super cool when it's like glowing, especially since the filament that I'm using here is UV reactive. We should have tested how that looks like on the ice blue. Yeah. But nice little
cool.
threaded. It's threaded design here, so you can insert your little vial, and I'll post links to where to get the little vials. I think it was a Hobby Lobby where I got like a nice little assortment of those, and then I think Lamar's going to try to stock the glow in the dark pigment. I will print these out in the glow-in-the-dark filament to see if that increases the glow or how that looks like. But yeah, nice, simple little wearable attachment with glow-in-the-dark capabilities. Super cool.
Nice. Cool prop.
Yeah. So this was actually the first thing I was testing that fusion geometric pattern, and it did not work on
it doesn't work.
Cylindrical objects.
I just use a circular pattern.
I will show how to do that. Because it's definitely if we're gonna have to do this all manually. I'm not paying. Oh no, careful.
Oh, that'll open the powder.
Oh yeah, it'll pop out the powder. I need
from the bottom.
One of these guys.
Cool.
Yeah, that's actually why I have the holes down there. You could pop that out like that. And I lost my train of thought on what I was going to say, but here's what the powder looks like. Oh yeah, I should have brought the UV light.
Yeah, it's fine. It's prototype.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this powder is what we're gonna stock.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like the industrial glow-in-the-dark stuff that they mix with like pigments and like artwork and.
Where'd you get the powder from?
All that.
Amazon or something?
Amazon, yeah.
Okay. Not the art store?
No, I didn't look for it there. The main thing I was looking for there was
Secret of the ooze.
Because I remember seeing them passing by in one of the aisles.
Yeah. Not glass.
Vials.
It's just like
no, this is glass.
Acrylic.
I mean,
it
it feels
glass?
like glass, yeah.
I did not think so.
I know, neither did I. Until I started pushing on it from the bottom. I was like, oh, good, it's not deforming or breaking.
Oops.
But yeah, that's what this guy is.
It's very frightening. The powder.
Oh, I know, because when I was placing it in there, like, you can see, when you have the UV light over it, and you're like, oh no, it's everywhere now.
Yeah.
But
messy.
yeah, I'll have to 3D print like a little funnel to easily, because I had to do it like a piece of paper. So that'll be, I don't think next week, the week after, right?
Yeah.
And I think you have one prototype to
let's
look
talk
at?
about. So we got some retro game toy inspired project. This is a Etch-A-Sketch inspired project. So we have these two potentiometers. This is the display. It's a 2.4 inch TFT FeatherWing. We have these two potentiometers. We're using display IO in CircuitPython to move this little cursor. And so we have two controls here. We have a button and a toggle switch. So you notice that the screen has this little yellow thing. When I turn the knobs, you can see me moving the little thing. So what's really cool about this, so Carter Nielsen came up with the code for this one. It's all done in CircuitPython using display IO. And unlike your kind of traditional Etch-A-Sketch, you have the ability to flip a switch. Now you are drawing. So you have pen up and pen down. And it's very hard to draw things, I found, because I've never really used an Etch-A-Sketch before. So it's been really fun to do this. And this is a color TFT, right? It's a 2.4 inch TFT FeatherWing. It's 320 by 240, I believe, is the pixel resolution. But you can see here, you can do all sorts of fun stuff. And then I can go pin up, and I can move my cursor around and start a new drawing right there if I wanted to.
Super.
And then you're wondering, well, what's this button for? Instead of shake to erase, we have a button. So the button erases. And I've been trying to learn how to draw with this thing, and I'm very awful at it. About I found all I can do is probably make a face. I think I can do like a little BMO style face. But huge shout out to Carter Nielsen. Backstory, Carter Nielsen works on the Adafruit remote team. He does support as well. And he has a couple of learn guides on the Adafruit Learn system. So about 2 years ago, pre-pandemic, I found one of his guides, and it showed how to use an OLED display to create this project. So if you look in the description of our YouTube video, there's a link to Carter's Learn Guide. You can build this right now. However, it was built before Display IO. It was built before our Learn Guides were on GitHub. So he's completely revamped the code so that it is written in Display IO. And we'll be releasing this next week. But that is the prototype, a Etch-A-Sketch inspired handheld. I can take a look at the stuff. This is a 3D printed snap fit case. How the hell do I open this? I can't remember. I did this project, I don't know, it feels like a month ago now. There it goes. So you got your snap fit dealies. You got a little reset button pusher on the back case. But yeah, you got your Feather M4. We really like the Feather TFT FeatherWing, because you just stick your feather in there and you have all these little extra pinouts. So you can see here I'm using these right-angled header pins to make the wired connections a bit of a plug and play going on. I got this nice beefy battery and 3D printed bracket here. The green thing is what keeps the display mounted nicely to the case. You got your regular pots here. These are 10K pots. Linear tends to work out better than the analog for this type of thing. Standard toggle switch, and these are we carry 16mm panel mounted momentary push buttons. That's what this is, but it's something I got somewhere else, and it has these built-in screw block terminals, which I'm really happy about, because the buttons that we carry in the shop don't have that. So this makes it modular, and when you're filming and you want your thing to be whatever, it's nice to be able to just unscrew those, because when you're panel mounting things, it can get it kind of sucks to have to keep desoldering, but yeah. Pretty simple case, inspired of course by like a Nintendo, Game Boy, Game Girl. Everything snap fits. I really like doing these when I have a feather based project or any type of project. I like doing these these reset buttons. It's really easy to press it, and then it won't press it when you're down on a thing, so it's really nice when you're flat and you're not accidentally hitting reset. Carter did some fun things in the code where you'll be able to easily customize this. If you want a bigger cursor, you can change the scale factor. You can of course change the colors and whatever else you want to try to do. What do you guys think about Etch-A-Sketch? Have you ever played with an Etch-A-Sketch? It's really cool to be able to do this in the display I/O.
I don't think that's something that you could ever do with the Etch-A-Sketch, right? Move.
No, you can't do pen up or down.
Yeah, you have to like trace the existing line to keep it within. Sort of like comb mode on a printer.
You can see that if you go too fast, it tends to skip a little bit. So you can either play with the delay or just go slow. Yeah, we thought about some things like shaking to erase, but as you saw, my battery is shaking in there. CircuitPython. Ooh. Love it. And the on and off switch is right there. I have these are guitar knobs. They're super chunky, super heavy, and I love them. That is really nice. Hello Pedro. Hello. These are really cool. I like these. They have the spline in there, built in there for potentiometers. So yeah, these are for guitars, so that's why they're huge. I figured get some really, really nice ones, because this is the majority of how you're using it, right? With these giant things. We don't stock these, but it'd be cool if we did. It's about yay big. It's pretty thick. It's like 2 iPods.
I was gonna say the whole morning. That's what we were watching.
Give me the. So like this. It's about the same thickness.
Oh, it is so close.
Pretty close. Whenever you're doing it, and this is with the short headers too. The feather has the short headers. How fun. All right, that's the prototype. Hope you like. We'll do it next week.
Super cool. We'll definitely have to do some animation on there.
Turn it on, the bottom.
Oops. Oh, that's the erase button.
Yeah, that's the erase button. Clear button.
Ooh, let's see if I can draw a blinker. Oh. No, wrong. It's inverted. I can't
you think it's
do
inverted?
It. No.
So yeah, you're gonna wanna.
Yeah, you need some practice to
draw. You need to know like what's up and down and what's left and right.
Yep.
So folks, you will have the ability to swap it in the code, so you won't have to resolder anything. You can just easily change that in the code.
I'm sure there's I'm drawing the Adafruit logo very horribly. Yeah. I'm sure there's people who do like the flight simulator who is really good at inverted controls. So can't wait to see people posting cool Mona Lisa drawings of that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I think there's like a Mona Lisa of like Figment the dragon.
Yes, there is.
One thing that's kind of I don't like about this display is it's basically a blur.
Yeah. We were looking at like the matte screens to put over all of our screens for when we're filming. We don't have like the blockers and the bouncers and the bouncing the light everywhere else but the screen.
And then real quick, let me show folks the origin story here is look at this
That's
artwork.
what I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
Yes, this is an existing learning guide you guys can check out right now.
Right. Now, we steered away from using this OLED because you kind of have to desolder a surface-mounted resistor in order to get the SPI connection to work. And we use SPI to get this working. I believe it's SPI. Yeah, I think it's SPI.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is it's kind of an older guide, and Carter did this several years ago. When did he publish it? 2018. Oh, 4 years ago. No big deal. It's crazy to think that CircuitPython has grown so much. Not just CircuitPython, but like the Learn. We now have the ability to learn repos, and we have Display I/O that's going to work across all of these types of displays, whether it's OLED or TFT. Pretty cool to see this, and I'm happy to like kind of find this as an archaeologist, dust off the thing and be like, hey, we need to get this going. We need to make this a nice
There's so many
project.
projects like that in Learn when you go through there.
Yeah, I don't like the mentality like, that's already been done. Let's not do that. No.
If
you need to redo it.
When you look at your
refine it.
You're on this day. We're usually like 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 years ago working on the exact same project,
right?
Just completely different. It was no CircuitPython. It was Arduino. Now it's CircuitPython 2. Now it's 5. Now it's 7. So it's like we get to keep revisiting these projects with updated code, updated platforms, and of course updated modeling techniques and Filament. There is a question on the Discord asking about any way to reduce shipping costs to Europe. Yes, we have distributors all over the world. Have the distributor pay for the shipping, and you can locally grab it from them. I just posted a link. It is adafruit.com/distributors, and we are all over the place. I can't even count how many distributors. There's so many. If you ever look at any of the behind the scenes videos of like the factory running and all the people shipping, this is where it's all going to, all over the world.
Yay.
It is quite a scroll on all the distributors. So
design
definitely check that out if
the
you
next
are
case.
outside of the US.
Doing some CAD stuff here, folks. Drawing some components for next week's project. On my brand new CAD thing.
There's a quick question from Mark Gambler. Any idea why my Ninja Flex is burning at some points? I've seen that exact same thing. The Ninja Flex sometimes tends to like warp or curl.
The nozzle?
Yeah, and that's what's happening. It's getting closer to the nozzle, and the nozzle is either burning it, or you know how filament gets like stuck on the side of the nozzle. It's like rubbing off onto your print.
It could be like from the retraction. Yeah.
It's the part itself. You know how like Ninja Flex tends to like sort of droop a little bit like one way or the other, and as it's printing around, it's like sort of cleaning your nozzle.
Maybe turn off combing. Is that what's going on? Like it's combing, and some of the extrusion bits, some of the string is just catching up on the combing.
Yeah.
Maybe try turning off combing and see if that's on or off. I don't. Yeah, I don't know if it's like a default thing.
Another thing you can do too is, it's cleaning the nozzle. Just go in there and clean it a little bit more, because there's no way to avoid how the Ninja Flex like deforms as it's printing.
Yeah, Mike P is asking about the, I suppose the potentiometers versus a rotary encoder. Yeah, these are not rotary encoders. These are potentiometers. So the potentiometer goes from like 0 to 1024. So it can't go any further back, and as you go, that's as far as it goes. So in the code, Carter has mapped, he's using map range, so he's mapping the X and Y coordinate to the potentiometers 0 to 1024, I believe that's how he's doing it. So that's how it's able to do that. With a rotary encoder, you just go all the way around, and it's pulses as opposed to like a fixed, value. So I think that's why Carter used potentiometer. Probably easier to code, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
And then Mike P says, "Oh, so they do stop."
Yeah. They do stop. They hard stop. Yep. Think about like a volume knob. Like it's got to stop at some point, right?
And then Foamy Guys has an answer on there. his thoughts on it. And the Mark Gambler is saying, yeah, combing was enabled, so he'll try turning it off. You might get some stringing from it, but it's okay. It's Ninja Flex. You can cut it up. We always have to do processing, meaning cutting off all the retraction afterwards.
Yeah, it looks like it was spinning more. Yeah, it's just the nature of the knobs just look like they just keep going. And that's another reason why I choose the knob, because like when you have notches here, you would get confused of where I am, I think, because this one doesn't really need to know exactly where you are, because there's no like real value there. Yeah.
All right, cool. That is this week's prototyping. I think this comes out next week and then the week after.
Yeah, I'm working on the
glowy
Learn Guide.
stuff.
Code's already on GitHub if you want to take a look at it. We have a Learn Guide repo where all of the code for our projects and everyone's projects are published. Cool. All right, let's do shop talk real quick. I got a CAD walkthrough of the Zoetrope from last week. So if you want to take a look at how I structured the design in Fusion 360 and how I'm using sketches and joints and external parts to create this CAD assembly, and just showing how I'm using all those tools to get a visual representation of how these gears are engaging. It's about a half an hour of me bantering about CAD stuff and how.
And then check out this cool book.
Yeah, and then we have this really cool book. I recommend this book. It was gifted to me. It's called 507 Mechanical Movements, Mechanisms and Devices. And if you are just getting started with mechanical engineering, it's a great reference book. So for our project, our Zoetrope, there's actually some things here. You might notice this, number 34. That is the mechanism for the Zoetrope. It's an internally toothed spur gear and pinion. Basically, the main takeaway here is that the two rotate in the same direction, and with the same strength, the tooth gears are capable of transmitting greater force because more teeth are engaged. So that's cool. And then for the gear itself, number 40 here, you can see it's a double helical gear. Rotary converted into rotary motion. The teeth of these gears, being oblique, give more continuous bearing than ordinary spur gears. It kind of self-centers too when you have a profile like that, so it works out really well. But yeah, there's 507 mechanisms here, and it's a great resource for folks that are interested in mechanical design and engineering. So yeah, 507 mechanical movements. I've always wanted this book. And that's this week's Shop Talk. A CAD tutorial and a book recommendation.
Let's see. Trying to answer Leon's question or response on the distributors. They tried the distributor website, but it's a lot harder to find things than on the Adafruit website. The other suggestion would probably be DigiKey. How are they shipping for the stuff you're looking for?
Apparently this is a website too. I just have Mike P. Thanks, Mike, for sharing that. The mechanical movements is also on the website here. So if you want to add free and print copy and bigger photos, you could get a look here.
Oh yeah.
There it is. I think they show it animating too. Look. Yeah, I remember seeing this actually. I completely forgot about this, folks. I'm sorry. But it's cool that they kind of have this. Yeah, this was really, really cool to see too. Whoa. It's great to see it in motion. So. Wow.
Well, yeah, you can see the index here.
Yeah, look at that. The angle pressure there. Very, very nice. I'm hypnotized. It's so funny to like have a real 3D model of it and be like, yeah, do that all day long. Very cool. Good pick. That's 507movements.com.
Yeah, Mike P says Greek for animation.
It is, yeah.
Yes, the lawnmower's back. We had hoped they had switched their schedules.
No.
Since they weren't here last week.
Nah, it's just a special day. All right, folks, you ready for Community Megs?
Woohoo!
This week, it's very koi.
This week is this really cool. I think it's a koi fish. It's this quantum filament printed Flexi fish. I don't know what I'm showing. Oh, there it is.
You're not showing anything because I'm getting the link up.
So the Flexi animal craze is still going strong.
Flexi animal craze.
Yeah, doing like the rose dragon, the spiky dragon, like my favorite, the fork, the flexible fork.
The flexible fork.
Like the unnecessary.
This is fantastic filament. So quantum filament from MatterHackers. It's got that two-tone. This is printed with that, so you can see one side is this beautiful pink, the other side is gold. Such a great color. Like fish actually have those like pinks and golds. So it looks really great.
Yeah.
Prints without any supports. Prints in place. Articulation.
Kind of see how it's
like the filament got twisted while it was going and then it untwisted itself and fixed itself. So you're gonna get those if you're not careful. This is the time-lapse? Mm-hmm. Really? Normally time-lapses look gross, like the print. This does not look gross.
Yeah. No, yeah, you can kind of see where
like, it's gross?
Yeah, where the tracks moves over for like the, I forget how many milliseconds it is for that long exposure.
Very cool. Man, this filament is stronger.
I know, I'm mesmerized by the
MatterHackers filament.
The modeling of the scaling is excellent. The face, like, so it looks really good.
By, Wild
Is
Art
it Design
3D.
17? Yeah.
Is their handle here on Colts 3D. It's a paid download because it's a fantastic model. It's $1.69 in the U.S. currency.
Totally worth
some photos
the price.
of it. And yeah, we like fun things. I'm sure the kids will love it.
Somebody in the comments of the video was saying to add like a motor and some fishing string to make them move.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, super cool.
Or really poppy.
Embed the magnets in there like we did with that little fishy magnet thing. But yeah, the movement on it, excellent job. Like,
fantastic model.
Yeah, you have movability in it, and you can kind of see how it's like sort of like a chain link, the way that the sections are connected.
Oh, you can barely see.
It's like a 45-degree like draft that goes up, so no supports needed. And again, yeah, you can get some twisting in the quantum filament, so it's got to be some sort of like filament guide where it like keeps it like at from twisting. And there you go. Thought I'd print something different that wasn't a dragon.
Yeah, so here's the fish
those.
again. Flexi
Oh, hey,
fish
look!
on
You
Colts
can
3D.
move just his head. No.
Oh, he's smudging.
Oh yeah.
In the thumbnail, it's eating. It's got some bait, some kiwi bait. Pink. Cool. So check out the model if you want to support the artist. You can download it and make your own fish. Here's a bunch of other ones from the same person, I believe.
The same person making all of the Flexis. That snake is cool.
Yeah.
There's that dragon.
Yes. Very cool.
I want to do this one next. The Floppy dragon looks kind of cool.
Dragon. Cool. Puppeteer in it. All right. We got some other community makes, so let's walk through those. This one just came in the morning. Hopefully it loads as the lawn mowing gets louder. This is the Chief Tuscan Raiders staff.
Whoa.
Fantastic print.
Wow.
From Thingiverse user B Cotton 81 just posted this up. Looks fantastic. It barely fits on that dining table there. Look at the filament. It's freaking fantastic, huh? Where's that next button? There it is. Yeah, and the person says, I honestly saw this and thought it would be a good idea to burn through some silk filaments that I've had laying around forever. That's why it's not color accurate. I had 2 other copper pipe parts to make it full length, but my nephew broke it. Oh, my nephew broke it too. Your son. I made duplicates in different colors, so once I settle on a final version, I'll glue it because so it doesn't feel fragile to breaking at the screw ends very quickly. I would say over 40% infill and no bigger than 3 layer height if you want to keep it modular. Well done. It's surprisingly big and substantial feeling once assembled, even at the reduced length. The fact that it's so modular, I might try to scale it down to kid size, and they can pick their colors.
Didn't that kid Tuscan have a little one? We'll have to rewatch that.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, it looks better than mine. I gotta say, in that silk filament, it looks beautiful. Printed on a Cruelty Ender 3. Used prims for the longer pieces. 0.6 nozzle. Ooh. That'd be real nice. I'll speed it up for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Now, 0.6
Should
nozzle
get
might
some,
be a good
huh?
one. Yeah. Very, very cool. Shout out to B Cotton 81.
It's so funny. We used to play around with all the nozzle sizes and the dual extrusion.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, meh, one color. 0.4 nozzle.
That's why the MatterHackers Quantum is fun. You get those two-tone colors now.
Mm-hmm.
Here is a make of our infamous unicorn horn that's printed in flexible filaments, but also PLA. Here it is. Luke posted this up. It's unicorn party time. It's cool that there are holes in there for a string.
Yes.
I printed it with the color change filament. In reality, you can see much more transition than the pictures, but I should have printed more of the simultaneous to see more trans something. Oh. That
Looks good.
Orange, yeah, looks great.
Even the tips where it typically can deform because the heat zone is like
It's pretty
all in the same area there at the top.
Yeah. People love these unicorn horns. They're great for the kids.
I know, I think we have to revisit it like everything else,
I
but
already
make
did.
them Godzilla scales for the back. Because the child is all into Godzilla now.
Baby. This is super cool. So Thingiverse user Tiffy HH posted up their Pi badge thermal camera with some of their own additional things to it. Take a look at the surface on this. This is one of those perforated beds. It gives you like this composite carbon fiber look to it. It just looks fantastic. So yeah, you can see here in the PCB mount. Pedro, take a look real quick.
Hey.
It really looks like carbon fiber, but it's not. It's just perforated bed. Yeah, we've seen those before. But yeah, this is a cool way to make a DIY thermal imaging camera with the MLX 90640 thermal camera sensor and the Adafruit Pi badge. These 3D printed parts house the Pi badge, the module, a battery, on-off switch, and a little button for reset. I believe that's what it is. The front cover exposes all of the buttons, this display. There's also an external frame bezel that gets super glued on top of the back cover, and you have some holes that expose the NeoPixels. I really love this project. I had a lot of fun designing it in Fusion, and it's great to see folks actually make it. So huge shout out to Tiffy HH for posting up there. Awesome build of the thermal camera Pi badge. Okay, we got another one. This is a very fun one. This is another prop. This prop is from Final Fantasy. This is called a gun blade. Pedro created this in 2015. And the photos, look at that. This is printed in that silk filament, I believe. Prints in 2 pieces. Really, really cool moving barrel. The barrel actually rotates.
The backwards barrel.
Oh, that's right. The barrel is backwards. But very, very cool. This was posted up by Lord Hululu 814. Looks great. And this was printed on a CR10S Creality. Ooh. Super fun project. Made it for my friend who loves Final Fantasy 7. Really satisfied with how it turned out. Yeah, me too. Looks great. And they used Sunlu PLA silver. That's cool. All right. There's 3 more. Bear with me, folks. Last week we didn't have many. This week, like, everybody posted stuff.
Yeah,
it's just great.
I'll pause it.
Yeah. All right. This is a little snap fit mount for your CircuitPython Express or CircuitPython Brew Flute. This was posted up by Thinks. Thinks posted up their make of this really nice bumper.
Yeah, it's so many uses.
I didn't know you could put it on upside down like that. That's cool.
did not either.
I normally flip it the other way, but when you make it symmetrical, it can go either way, I guess. That's news to me. It looks great. There's those 2 extra mounting holes in case somebody wants to add something else.
That's what that's for. Yeah.
That's what that's for.
It's usually for like the base.
Yeah, it's normally
just like that.
Yeah. But I guess you could flip it around.
Cool.
Yeah, there's different. I use this a lot to just stuff this under an existing decoration just to give it some light. So it's a nice way to kind of mount this to something else, and it's very low profile. But yeah, you can make this version too if you want to strap it to something else, attach it to something else.
Yeah, and the clearance on the bottom is for a little LiPo battery.
LiPo battery, yeah. Yeah, and folks have made their own remixes and stuff, I think.
Ooh.
So that's cool. All right, and then let's keep moving. We have 2 more. This is another prop. It's prop week here. This is the TVA time stick from the Disney Plus TV show Loki. So this is a little baton with some a feather, prop maker FeatherWing. So Thingiverse user, the director posted up their make. They did some post processing as well.
Sweet.
Some of the photos are a little difficult to kind of look as they're.
It's like a
I
low
think
quality
Thingiverse.
got
Yeah,
shopped.
Thingiverse, like something happened. Yeah,
There you
there's a
go.
good photo of it. Looks great, post processed like that, all nice and sanded and painted. I like that weathering look. Look at that, it looks like a lightsaber. That was great. Yeah, super cool. I'm always jazzed when I see somebody do the sanding and the
Yeah, because it
painting.
takes so much time.
Yeah.
You know how difficult
I
it
never
is.
get to
Time
that.
consuming it
It says,
is.
loving this print, currently working with the wiring, but up till now it looks amazing. It did 1 modification. We'll post up the remakes. Cool. Very nice. And again, that's the director on Thingiverse. All right, we got 1 more to
The
go.
director for Loki?
The director for Loki.
I'm surprised they don't sell that at the Disney parks. A baton. They have all these other wands and swords and
Well,
bubble wand.
a bubble wand would be great. This was posted up by G Bear Cat on Thingiverse. Posted up their modification of the Clue case, non-wearable.
Yes.
So if you want to
I
Clue
thought
case without wearable,
I've made a non-wearable
you
version.
probably did,
but it
you
was
know,
a
people-
different style.
yeah, people do their own
Yeah.
fun things to it. So I don't see any photos of it posted, but maybe they're printing
Sweet.
it still. So shout out to G Bear Cat for posting up their thing. This is a version of the Pylon Clue bike case, but instead as a freestanding non-wearable unit. Reason for making it is to create remote control for the shared game timer that could be passed around on the gaming table. Cool. The main difference here is the original Pylon case is removable of the mounting holes in the back plate. The walls, corners, and the floor have also been thickened to improve reliability. Cool. And they printed it on a Lulzbot Taz 6.
Hey.
They used Tinkercad to remix
Oh, that's
it.
why. He was using a 0.6 millimeter nozzle.
Oh, wow, look at that. These are even better photos. Oh, there are photos. They just weren't added to the... Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool when you use a... You also have a button pusher for the reset button. I love doing that. It's a really good technique.
I think that's where we started
I like the
using it.
concentric pattern on the first layer. Very cool. And that is this week's Community Makes. Thank you everybody so much for sharing your stuff with us. It's really cool to see folks making things. And everybody out there, keep posting and keep making.
Thingiverse tells me I
Yeah,
have
do
an
us too.
ad
Alright, so-
blocker and
Yeah,
won't
so-
download files. So the team noticed this, sent this in. PT sent a letter to Thingiverse themselves. So
Yeah, the PR
hopefully
team at
they're
Thingiverse.
having a meeting on removing that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, keep your fingers crossed, because although we use all the other sites as well as our own, we upload all the STLs and the step files directly to Learn.
We're hosting them
We've been hosting them for a long time. The GitHub has all of our 3D models on there as well. And beyond Thingiverse, it's on Prusa, Cults 3D,
My Mini Factory, Pinshape.
If that is that still around? I think so.
It's still around.
The Ultimaker one,
Imagine.
it is everywhere.
They're everywhere.
All of our stuff is everywhere.
So we don't really.
And it's weird because we never noticed that our ad blocker is on our router.
It's built into the router, the
Yeah.
EERO routers.
So we haven't gotten that message yet, but we have seen lots of people posting about that. So there are some discussions on what
Yeah,
to
I
do
think
in
PT will talk
terms
about
of
it tonight.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it in our meeting as well.
Right.
See what the action going is. But yeah, he has emailed MakerBot Thingiverse to see if they can stop this, because it's not really good for them.
Yeah.
We have plenty of other places we can go.
Right. It's just a bummer that like Thingiverse wins when it comes to traffic. And if you noticed, all of our makes are unfortunately from Thingiverse. People are just posting them there.
Unfortunately, the whole
I was trying to promote Prusa more, but probably not a good idea to favor one over the other. It's just a conflict of interest I don't want to get into. So what are we going to promote? Oh, the files on the Learn site. Stop going to Thingiverse. Stop going to like, I can't say that. You can get them wherever you want.
It's unfortunate because that's where I get all of the blog content. Like if you go to the Thingiverse RSS feed, ooh, it is a fire hose. People are uploading like you go back every hour. Yeah, you can go back there every hour and see freaking so much stuff, and it's not like just dedicated to one what is it called, like Curize thing. It's like so many little pieces and bits for like things all over the house, or tools and all these holders that make it so what this is what 3D printing was supposed to be about. So that's what's kind of hard to completely shut them off, but hopefully they'll do the right thing.
Yeah.
And they're I think because it was during the pandemic.
Can you imagine how much money they're making from all these ads? Like every single ad.
I know.
Like if you look at their numbers in Thingiverse, like on a normal day, it's about 400 downloads a day.
That's average too.
So if every one of those has a link to Amazon, to Premiere, like buy this Premiere thing.
Yeah. But anyway, then right in the middle of the pandemic, there was already chats on like Adafruit creating just our curated for the guides, all the files that we create every single week for that. Yeah. So that might get rebooted. I don't know. Maybe. Definitely.
So Duester.
Let's see if they change. Let's see if they change their mind. You'll hear more about it from PT and us next week.
Yeah.
So I hope they do the right thing and remove that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Just on the downloading part, like it sucks you have to view it.
Yeah.
Or you can't have an ad blocker.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if you notice, like when you're going through the makes things, do the ads show up? I don't think they do.
No, they do.
Oh.
They certainly do. They're Google ads. And sometimes the wrong ad will show up, and you're like, I can't show this. Whoops. Yeah.
All right, I think that is going to do it for this episode.
Yeah, that was a Community Make plus Shop Talk segment. Fun. Don't go anywhere though. Tonight we have Ask an Engineer. Tonight we have first Show and Tell. So we invite you to come on Show and Tell. We hope to see you folks there. We'll be there this week. It starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can hang out in the Discord server when the link is pasted there. You can join in. It's a StreamYard kind of live stream event, so you can join in that way through the Discord server. And then shortly after, it's Lamar and Phil doing Ask an Engineer. A full hour of Lamar and Phil doing open source hardware news, new products, chatting about Thingiverse and more. And then, we hope to see you tonight on Show and Tell, hosted by Mr. and Mrs. Lady Ada. Tomorrow, John Park's workshop every Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Come hang out. Friday, come hang out with Scott. Deep dives with Scott every Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific or 5 p.m. Eastern. Is Foamy Guy doing it? Not yet, right? He's not taking over this slot. Soon.
I think he's Scott has three or two more episodes left.
Until a little short leave, or maybe. Okay. Cool. Lady Ada happens on Sundays from the desk of Lady Ada. Mondays is the CircuitPython meeting. Great opportunity to tune in to the folks. Every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. JP's product picks of the week are on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time or 1 p.m. Pacific. You can get up to 50% off coupon things.
But only during
the live show, so you got to tune in live. Yeah. And that's wrapping back around. We do this show every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you everybody for joining us.
We got to change that picture there of the Taz.
Oh yeah. I just like it. It's almost like the
retro,
like having a retro floppy or something. Can you imagine a 3D printer that has a floppy drive? That'd be dope. And it's like printing off the floppy.
Oh my god!
I'm like, why?
Get some years.
Why not? It'd take years to print. Cool. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us live. Hope you have a good week. Good luck on all your maker endeavors. But until then, remember to
make a great day.
Make a retro great day.
See you later tonight.
Bye, folks. See you tonight.